Grid is live. Initiate light cycle battle.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
For a safe trip, remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the cabin. Be sure to watch your children, and no smoking, please.
Welcome to the Pirates and Princesses podcast.
We're a different kind of Disney podcast. We do it our way.
We talk about Disney parks, Disney movies, TV, video games.
Anything Disney.
I'm your host, Tom Pratt.
And I'm your other host, Cambria Pratt.
Life is like a hurricane in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales, woo!
Welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Hello again. We're going to start off with some sad news today before getting into the magical fun news. The sad news being that Alan Young has passed away this week.
Well, tell people who might not know who Alan Young is, who Alan Young is.
Alan Young, who is best known as Wilbur on Mr. Ed, was an actor, but Disney fans will know him as the voice of Uncle Scrooge.
Yes.
And this one stings a little bit. Mr. Young was 96 years old. And I'm a huge fan of Scrooge McDuck, and I've actually worked on the Scrooge comic books.
Really? You don't say.
I do say.
I think you said that repeatedly.
I have. So to have, Alan Young pass away really didn't make my week. But thankfully, Cam was able to get me his autograph.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
And there's a funny story with that, though.
Oh, yeah, you can tell
The
it.
story is, I guess, in real life, Mr. Young was about as curmudgeon-y as Uncle Scrooge himself. The lady who got his autograph, now she makes sure she verifies all the autographs. She, takes pictures of the celebrity signing
Yeah, I
them.
wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't verified.
Yeah, so, she's like an authorized dealer, but she said Alan wouldn't let me take his picture. In fact, he shushed me away and mumbled something under his breath, and wouldn't let his picture be taken. But she said, I guarantee you I was there with him.
Well, they had certificates, too, from people that were witnesses to verify that.
They had witnesses, but he would not allow his picture to be taken while he was signing it, and I guess he did so begrudgingly. But I do have a rather nice Carl Barks image with Alan Young's signature on it. So
I got you for our anniversary.
Yeah, but he was 96, so that's a good run.
Yeah, you can't knock that. Go him for that.
And I'm not sure who is going to be voicing Uncle Scrooge in the new DuckTales, but he's got some big spats to fill, I think.
Spats to fill.
Yeah.
I have a pair of spats. I should wear them sometime.
So
unrelated, but
you should.
I do have some because we do steampunk stuff. Anyway, on
to happier news.
Guess what? I'll give you one guess what we're going to talk about. If you had one guess of anything we would talk about, because we always joke that we have to talk about it all the time, what would it be?
Well, it'll be one
Time's
of two
up.
things.
Tell them what it is, Tom.
Frozen.
You don't say.
Or Shanghai.
Frozen.
Actually, we've got a lot of Frozen news this week. They did announce the date for the opening of Frozen Ever After, which is the repurposed Maelstrom. Yes, R.I.P. Maelstrom. But so June 21st
yes,
is the official opening date. So you could begin booking FastPass Plus for Frozen on May 21st at 7 a.m.
Well, it's after May 21st,
so
7 a.m. So you can book it now. So go look into that.
You can book it now. Good luck with that. But yeah, so I don't know if they're going to be doing any soft openings on that, because sometimes,
I have no idea.
Like I know the Mine Train, they actually had it running a week or so before the official opening.
Yeah, because that's the official opening. The official opening date is June 21st.
Yeah, so anyway, some other things related to Frozen. There were some pictures that were sort of smuggled out of the attraction. Yeah, and they show a couple of the animatronics. Now, this is actually coming from WDW News Today, and they have like Marshmallow and some Snowgies, whatever they're called.
Her boogers.
Elsa's boogers. And they look very happy, so they probably sing.
Aren't boogers always happy?
Yeah, and the rock trolls and that sort of thing. So, I mean, I think, again, I'm really torn about this because I feel bad about the Maelstrom. I'm always going to feel bad about the Maelstrom. But I think it'll probably be a pretty solid attraction. I mean, Disney's going to throw money at this, obviously.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, they have a new movie coming out, and it's a cash cow, I mean.
Speaking of cash cows.
Oh, here you go. Yes, here you go.
Speaking of Frozen and speaking of cash cows, there's a rumor that Disney California Adventure is going to offer a $450 Frozen show premium package. This is for the Frozen Live show at the Hyperion. They're talking about a $450 package, and that package would include a 5-course meal at Carthy Circle Restaurant, reserved seating for Frozen, a meet and greet with the cast of the show, and some experience in what was described as an interactive room backstage at the show, where guests can touch screens to interact with characters and pose with various photo ops. This is coming from WDW News Today. The rumored price point for all of this is $450 per person.
It's like $1,800 just for us to go.
Yeah, it would be $1,800. I mean, yeah. So you really have to love Frozen, I think, too.
Like that's like a couple bags.
That's a couple. Yeah, it's a couple of Dooney bags. So we've got what more Frozen news? It never ends. Oh, okay. This is actually coming from the official Parks blog. Spectacular Frozen fun on the Disney Magic and Disney Wonder this summer. So you can't even take a cruise to get away from Anna and Elsa. They will follow you to the ends of the earth.
It sails throughout Europe and Disney Wonder. Okay, Disney Magic's going to go to Europe and Disney Wonder is going to Alaska. And we're celebrating a turn of summer with friends from the Kingdom of Arendelle. I guess I did this last year too, apparently. On select Disney Magic and Disney Wonder sailing should be transported to the land of Frozen, when the ship is transformed into a winter wonderland. Isn't the point of summer to get away from that? On one special morning, you will wake to discover magical freezes that were taken in the atrium lobby with sparkling icicles adorning the grand staircase. Okay, that's kind of cool. So you go to bed and you wake up and then there's icicles and everything got frozen overnight.
Yeah, that's actually called a typical winter day in Pennsylvania.
I was saying that was last week.
Yeah, when the pipes break in your house and the heat's off, and then you wake up to icicles in the living room.
Last week when there was a snow and like a lot of snow and it was almost a whiteout and it's May.
Yeah, we had a snowstorm. Now we live outside of Pittsburgh, and we had a snow squall last Sunday in the middle of May. And
almost summer.
Yeah, I don't think Elsa was to blame for it.
I was like, who made Elsa mad? Okay, so anyway, they're gonna have icicles adorning the grand staircase, resembling the majestic mountaintop ice palace of Queen Elsa. That'd be something to see. Throughout the day, there'll be Scandinavian-inspired family activities, a themed dining experience with a menu of traditional Nordic fare, so it's like eating in Norway, and meet and greet with Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, and Olaf.
Oh boy.
So you can book those special. I mean, do they have dates or anything, or you have to call probably? Let me look.
I don't know. This is from the Parks blog.
I'm looking. Oh wait, there's more.
There's more.
The cool day of Frozen fun culminates with the extravagant celebration, freezing the night away with Anna, Elsa, and friends.
Freezing the night away.
Oh, I'm sorry. This struck me as funny. The celebration begins with a high energy line dance. That's the movie's ice cutting scene.
Wait, what? A line dance?
High energy line dance.
It's a high energy line dance with.
Featuring the rival Kristoff and Presley twirling his ice picks. You can't make this stuff up. And Princess Anna, Kristoff and Anna's beloved companions Sven and the Trolls and Olaf make virtual appearances at the party. Okay, so they're not really there. Sven engages the crowd in reindeer games, like Sven says, and Trolls.
So he's like the DJ.
Stroll.
Is this what we're? Oh, that's interesting. We've never actually been on a Disney cruise, so.
Wow. Okay. So arrives. I think a cruise would be cool. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this one. So arrives with a snowy gust of wind, calling the guests to sing "Let It Go." Well, obviously, of course, they're gonna do that.
Right.
She conjured up a wintry spectacle to cool things down for Olaf. In true Disney fashion, she unleashed her magic. Okay, that's kind of cool. I bet it looks really neat.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Oh, and then the fun continues for adults in the dance club, featuring performances by the Frozen specialty drinks. You had me at specialty drinks.
I thought you were gonna say the frozen dancers, like the solid gold dancers. They're the solid ice dancers or something.
No, that's the ice sculpture.
With drinks. Yeah, you got me at drinks.
That's ice cubes and drinks.
Drinks.
You had me at drinks. Okay. Let's go on to the next thing. Okay. This
Okay,
I didn't see
so
this yet.
We're
so
gonna
we'll talk about this.
we're gonna kind of go through the list here. This is actually coming from we're gonna move away from Frozen.
see this,
We're
yeah.
actually gonna move away from Frozen, and this is this came from the Huffington Post, and it's interesting. It's former Disney staffers sharing their best hacks for the park. So these are some things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of. Maybe it's common knowledge. I don't know, but we thought we'd go through the list. It was a pretty interesting list. So number one on the list from the Huffington Post is bring a Sharpie for autograph books.
Yeah, that makes sense because they have those big gloves on and stuff like the masked characters.
Yeah,
It'd be hard. I know when we took a big pen because we knew to.
right. It's
we
very hard for the cast members to see. Their reason they give here is Mickey, Minnie, Cinderella, and their pals can barely see through those masks. Signatures will look better if you give them a bigger pen. It's a difference between a souvenir from Minnie versus one from
It's my favorite character.
Okay, you want to do the next one?
Okay, sit in the middle of the monorail for easy access out. Otherwise, you can get stuck behind hundreds of people at every stop, which potentially means longer lines for rides once you get out. Clearly.
Yeah, that's actually pretty that was the way when I went to Vegas, they had a monorail system out there, and I used to always sit by the doors just to make sure I could get out first and not get stuck in the monorail.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 3, the back of the safari is better than the front. Okay, this is the
Well, this makes sense.
Yeah, you can turn around and see any animals you've missed. If you're in front of the safari, all you get is a crane. If you get
You can always see this person behind you crane their neck to look at me.
right, and yeah.
Yeah, and we tried taking pictures. We've been in the back before, and it was nice. That was the baby Simba incident.
I think so. Do you want to tell people about that in case they haven't heard it?
Yeah, so we were on safari the first time we went with the kids.
Yeah.
And the people in front of us, I think they were from another country, but they had their kid, like, they were holding their kid, and he was hanging halfway out of the car.
Yeah.
And the driver's like, could you please put your kid back in, stop hanging him out the window like baby Simba
They
or
literally
something like
were
that.
dangling their toddler outside of the ride
To get a
vehicle.
better look at now we know that if something falls out, they will not stop to get it. I don't
No.
know if that counts people. I don't think it does.
I don't know.
So they were holding their child outside the car, and the driver's like, you're gonna bring your child back in and stop holding him out the window like baby Simba. He wasn't completely out, but they had him dangling out.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts, though. I mean, I was like, why would you think that's okay to dangle your kid
When
out of
you're supposed to sit on your butt. Yeah. Anyway, so that happened. Anyway,
Number 4.
ask for the front row soaring, which we've been in, because then you have people's feet in your face.
Yeah, I didn't know you could ask for specific rows.
I think most amusement parks, if you want to be in the front row, you have to wait longer, but you can ask. We happen to luck out and get in the front row anyway, but
Yeah.
I think most of them, if you ask ahead, when you're going up to it, they have extra lines for that. In those parks I've been to.
Yeah, I think I did single rider on that one before, and I got up front. I got up top.
Yeah, I remember you did.
Yeah. Number 5, go to the parks the morning of a half marathon or any other run Disney race. Almost everyone is running. One staffer tells us to the parks, especially Magic Kingdom or ghost towns.
That'd be nice. I actually want to go do a run.
Yeah, we need to do a run. We need
I
to
would love
run.
to.
I need to run.
We all need to run.
Everybody needs to run. We haven't done the runs, but we've never actually been there when they've had a run, I don't think.
I know how you can motivate me to run. Go get me a Haunted Mansion duty bag, and you can run in front of me, and I'll chase you.
Okay, I can do that.
It's like bait.
It's like
Anyway,
bait.
let's see what
Cam bait.
cam bait. Go ahead.
Well, I did that one. You can do number 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm not paying attention. Take a boat ride from Magic Kingdom to the Wilderness Lodge at sunset. You get epic views. Well, I just know we used to ride before the Wilderness Lodge was there. We used to stay at Fort Wilderness all the time, and we'd take the boat over, and it was really cool.
Yeah. Now, see, I didn't know. Okay, number 7 is another one about Fort Wilderness. I did not know you could do this. Watch the electrical light parade from the shores of Fort Wilderness. I take it they mean the Main Street Electrical Parade. You can see everything from a
Or
relatively...
they mean the water parade.
They mean... Or
I
they
don't
mean
know.
the water pageant.
It might be the water pageant.
I don't know what they mean. They said watch the electric light parade. I'm assuming they mean the Main Street Electrical
I
Parade.
don't know. So one of them...
One of them, you can see everything from a relatively peaceful location, not get smushed in the busy crowds.
I don't know what they mean, because I can visualize where it is, and it's far enough away that I don't know. Could you see them?
You would just see a bunch of little lights twinkling.
They have to be at the water pageant.
The water pageant.
I don't know.
At the Polynesian.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, apparently try it and let us know. 'cause
sure,
I'm
you
not
let us know
trying
because
it.
this doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, am I doing 8?
Yeah.
Start from the back any park and head forward. A solid tip for any park. You've gotten in line early and are coming through the gates with the masses. Head to the back of the park. At Magic Kingdom, for example, take advantage of minimal waits for great rides, which we usually do anyway.
Well, I think Cam's got a hack here she can talk about after.
I don't want to, if I give them like tips and then what are we going to use for our tricks? Anyway, no, but I was going to do a blog post about it. At Magic Kingdom, for example, you'll take advantage of minimal waits for great rides like Splash Mountain by circumventing crowds at the back of the park instead of the front. Okay, I'll tell you what. We did this last time we were there. We actually cut across through that little side road that takes you down past Sleepy Hollow and all that. And remember we came through there?
Yeah.
And then because my daughter wanted to go on Splash Mountain, we wanted to hit Thunder Mountain. And since everybody was heading and since the Stampedes were heading for Elsa and Anna, we took the little side road that no one was going down, and we got right up there, and we got right on the Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain. We got to ride Thunder Mountain like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, then Splash Mountain kept breaking down that day.
And that was the first day. The second day was fine.
Yeah.
But we got right through and we circumvented all those people. And then I think a lot of times, in my experience, people always head for either the mountains. They head for the mountains, basically. So they're either heading for Frontierland, or they're heading for Tomorrowland, or they're heading for Fantasyland, and they're heading for the
Fantasyland.
Seven Dwarf Mine Train.
Yeah, Fantasyland definitely is where everybody kind of is heading.
But I'm going to tell you this, unless you have a fast pass for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, if I were you, I'd head there first.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever have fast pass for that, in my opinion, don't go there first. You're better to head towards, I think I'd go for Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain first, and go. That's clear in the back, and most people don't mess with that back there. They kind of work their way through Fantasyland and around.
Frontierland, I know when we went, that one time where we went through, and you guys were on, you and Kyrie were on Splash Mountain, and Tristan and I were in Frontierland, and we went, and it was nice. It was dead. I mean, it was a busy day at the park. Mm-hmm. Frontierland was completely dead. We walked around.
But we came back 3 hours later, and you couldn't walk.
Yeah, you couldn't walk. But like everybody went to Fantasyland that day, and we had the park hoppers, so we were kind of doing whatever we wanted to do. But Fantasyland was completely dead. Tristan and I got a funnel cake. We went and we talked to some cast members
in Frontierland.
And we went in the shops, and there were some birds, and it was just a nice, quiet. I mean, there was nobody.
Because everybody was over in Fantasyland, or they were heading for. That was before Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was open, though. See, now everybody's going for Peter Pan. What we did that time before Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was, we went right for Peter Pan and got on there first. And everybody else was heading for Frozen. We already had fast passes for Frozen, so we didn't bother with it.
That was luck.
Yeah, that was luck. But we went to Peter Pan first, and then we kind of got ahead of the crowds. But then because the Splash Mountain breaking down, we ended up in the afternoon getting stuck in the middle of the crowds, because they seem to go Fantasyland into Frontierland and then into Adventureland.
Tomorrowland seems to be like dead last on everybody's list of must do.
So maybe hit Tomorrowland first too. I don't know. So but you all have your own way of doing things.
But Fantasyland is going to be the busiest.
I'll tell you what I do. I'll go ahead and tell you. Here's what I've been doing. This is what I did last time, and it saved us a lot of time. What is the app?
I don't remember. It's like the Magic. It's one of the third party apps.
But they have They have a wait time on there. Any of the apps that have the wait time feature that you can see what the current wait times are. What I do is I take a notebook, or you can use a spreadsheet, and I track down the certain times a day, certain days, and I see where the wait times are. And from that, you can see where the crowds are moving, and you can avoid a lot of crowds by using that. So that's what we did last time, and we totally didn't hit any crowds until we would have avoided that too if we hadn't got held up on Splash Mountain for an hour.
You stalk the herd, right? You stalk.
I stay ahead of the herd.
Yeah, and at that point in time, it was because everybody goes for Fantasyland. They go for Peter Pan's flight for some reason is the most insane. Like everybody goes there first, and I think it's because they see the wait times. They're like, oh, it's going to get busy.
Well, now it's Seven Dwarfs. I think it's Seven Dwarfs Mine Train now.
Yeah,
but now you have to pick one or the other. You're gonna wait in line for one of them or have a fast pass for one of them. Because if you don't have if you have a choice, get a fast pass for your Seven Dwarfs or for Peter Pan. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have to hit one first.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise you're going to be in line.
Yeah.
Something else I was going to recommend, if you do Epcot, and if you're like us, we do 2 days Epcot because you have the World Showcase and Future World. My recommendation to you on that, since you're only allowed one of the tier ones, we split it in half. We'll do half Future World and then World Showcase one day, and we'll do half of Future World and half the World Showcase the other day. And that way, you're making sure that you might get, because they had Soarin', which is closed right now, but Soarin' is the one big one and Test Track's the other. You're getting one of the two each day.
Yeah, we don't do them both on the same day usually, but But now it's gonna be interesting because Frozen's gonna throw everything.
Yeah, it's gonna. We don't know what's gonna happen. With
Everybody's
that yet.
gonna head for Frozen. Is what's gonna happen. And it's gonna be,
Well, that doesn't open until later because World Showcase doesn't open until 11.
or are they gonna open Frozen earlier because it's Frozen?
I don't know.
So that's gonna be interesting.
Well, now we just spent a whole lot of time talking about this.
That's okay because we had to tie it into Frozen. Okay,
Anyway.
That's Cam's version of it.
Oh, I'm trying to use my finger to move my screen up, and I keep forgetting it's a computer, because I'm used to using mobile devices. Okay,
Everybody's
and here is kind of what I was talking about. Use fast passes strategically. Snag a fast pass, face mount, and dash to the back of the park for splash mount of the rides, and come back to the front and use your fast pass once the crowd is. But after it's died down, what difference does it make then?
I don't know. I think the fast passes have
I agree with
actually.
that.
I think the fast passes have actually made more lines.
Yes, because they'll do recommendations for people who don't know any better, and they'll put in Journey to Imagination with Figment.
We have never had the first trip we used the fast passes on, or Fast Pass Plus on, there was a line for Journey to Imagination.
Usually it's a walk-on.
It's a walk-on, and it's like there were people that were confused.
And it was a long line. It was like half an hour.
It was ridiculous. We have never had to wait for that attraction, and so we're standing there in line like, what happened? Well, here it's like people were booking Test Track, and they would just give them, Journey to Imagination as a bonus, and it's like, this is lame because nobody actually wants to be on this ride.
Well, some people like it. It's not the original.
No, it's not the original. But
That's what makes me sad.
Yeah, I think the Frozen factor is going to change.
We'll see what happens. That is going to be interesting. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. I'll be watching
well, the fact
that
that Soarin's closed now, that's we haven't been down there since they closed Soarin', but I'm sure that.
Well, that's sending everybody else. I mean, normally it kind of evenly distributes it half and half, but now that Soarin's closed, everybody's heading for the Test Track and stuff.
Epcot's kind of because Soarin's closed, Maelstrom's closed.
And those three were the tier ones, weren't they?
Yeah.
So two of the tier ones are closed for one.
So you've basically got Test Track.
And then here's the thing too.
Ellen's Energy Adventure.
Well, here's the thing too. Test Track, there's no way everybody can get a Fast Pass for Test Track. So they're probably getting rid. I haven't been able to book Fast Pass Plus for a while. So I'm assuming that thing fills up really fast because you can't get a Fast Pass.
That's nuts.
So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see because they're opening Soarin' back up here soon. Did you have that on here to talk about later?
Yeah, we're going to talk
about that later. They're opening Soarin' back up soon, and they're opening the Maelstrom, but now it's the Frozen Ever After, what it's called. They're opening that the 21st. So then all three tier ones are going to open again. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
I would highly recommend getting a park hopper and hitting Epcot 2 or 3 days. So
I love Epcot. It's my favorite. We hit there and pretty much Hollywood every night because my son wants to see Star Tours or whatever. Okay.
So speaking of the parks and speaking of the business of the parks and all of that, we'll talk a little bit about the park financials.
Park business.
We mentioned this before about the price hikes and whatnot, and apparently this is coming from the Orlando Sentinel. Fewer people visited Disney World from January to March compared with the year before, and they're blaming the new pricing strategy.
Yeah.
They reported their attendance figures in an overall second quarter earnings report. Earnings per share missed analyst expectations for the first time in 5 years. Now, overall, Disney's year-over-year profit rose 2% to $2.14 billion. But revenue for Disney's second quarter was $13 billion. Adjusted earnings per share was $1.36. So they said they actually, and we did talk about this before, they actually made more money, but there were fewer people going to the
higher
parks.
per guest spending because they raised the prices on things, but people attendance is down. So they said the merchandise and higher hotel room rates accounted for 4% revenue gain.
Yeah.
So 4% revenue gain because they upped the prices in hotels.
Right. So what does this mean?
I don't know. What does this mean, Tom? I'm not an analyst.
I'm really torn about this because there have been a lot of comments on the internet about, is Disney pricing out the middle class for hotels or for vacations?
And the answer is yes and no. The reason to say yes is because what was the article you saw the other day? It was in, what was it? It was a financial magazine. What was it that you're talking about? How they said that yes, because they're going to,
it was, I want to say, well, I know the Washington Post did something on it. The Washington Post, this was last year, they were sort of rallying against Disney saying they shouldn't do this. And whatever. There was another, and I don't even remember the name of the publication I read it in, but they basically said, yeah, of course they're chasing the money, which any smart business would do.
Yes, and I think you're finding this in a lot of places. You're seeing a divide in businesses. You're having the businesses that chase the people that, because let's be honest, the middle class is shrinking, and you have businesses that are chasing the shrinking middle class with budget answers, and you have the people that are chasing the growing 1%, growing money wise, not growing
right. Well,
that's
it.
And they chase them.
Wealthier Americans are becoming more and more wealthy. The middle class is shrinking, and then you have people who.
We're not making this a political thing.
Right.
We're just saying this is what they were saying.
Right.
We're explaining what they're saying.
So what they were basically saying is Disney's business strategy now is to chase people who have more disposable income with these higher dollar experiences.
Yeah, special experiences and things.
Right. And they're willing to pay it. We talked about the $450 per person Frozen package. Some Wall Street dad is going to take his daughter to that. They are. Just because
it has to be Wall Street dad. Why can't it be somebody else?
Well, it could be, but I'm just saying. I mean, it's from a business perspective, you can't blame Disney for trying to stay in business and trying to be profitable.
No. Now, my next comment about that is, does this mean you can't go to Disney? No. It does not mean this at all. It just means that you just have to budget that in or figure better ways around it or save longer. And there's no reason why you can't have some of these experiences too if you're someone like us who, isn't made of money. And you just have to be smart about how you do it. And as long as you budget and you plan really well, I think you're still good to go.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, it might be a case of, you don't go as often, but really, I mean, Disney trips, they can be affordable. I mean, our very first trip was a budget trip. I mean, that we took with the family when the kids were little. We didn't spend a whole lot of money on that trip, and we drove down and we, I think we took some food and we bought some food there. Mm-hmm. We still went to the Princess Breakfast, and we did, a couple of fun things, but, for the most part, we kind of just didn't eat a whole lot or whatever. And, we didn't spend a lot on airfare. I think airfare trips a lot of people up. The fact that we're on the East Coast and we can drive helps.
But I think if you're smart about how you do it, if you take advantage of like travel agencies and stuff that can help you out, if you take advantage of all that, I think you're good to go. I think there's ways, to get deals. They keep having discounts for hotels. They have the free dining, which is great if you can get it.
Yeah, I think they're doing that less now. It seems like they do it more.
They are doing it less, but if you can get it, take it.
And then the trade-off of that is, again, Disney has to pay for this stuff. Like, I mean, you look at all the stuff that they're doing to the parks now. I mean, granted, they're like a demilitarized zone now, but I think when they get everything done, Star Wars Land and
it's
Pandora
gonna be awesome.
and all of this stuff done, you're getting a better experience out of it. And instead of going every year, maybe you're going every 2 years.
Right.
But, I mean, personally, and this is, just me, but like, I don't regret ever spending money on a Disney trip.
No, I don't either. Come to think of it, you spend a lot, but you don't. I never look back and be like, well, we shouldn't have done that.
No, not at
once.
all. I mean, some of our best family memories have been at Disney parks.
Our kids want to go just because they said, because we work a lot. Tom and I have to do between comics and podcasting and YouTube and teaching, and he does marketing, and between all that stuff, we work a lot. And our kids love it because that's family time.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it's worth every penny, because we have 1 week that's all we do is just spend time together.
And the cast members are so amazing down there too. I mean, it's such a great experience. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, our daughter still talks about last time she went with a pirate shirt on, and Wendy and Peter Pan were there, and they're like, oh, it's a pirate girl, and they got all excited. Yeah, she still talks about that, and they just love it. It's just.
Yeah, I don't think you can really. I mean, I understand you have to put a price on that, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm like, oh, the magic, but it is. Disney is a premium experience. I know people are like, well, I'll just go to other theme parks because I don't need to spend. It's like,
we hear that here a lot.
I hear that all the time.
It's like, you've never been to Disney. Okay, you for example, I grew up going to Disney. Since I was a kid, we went to Disney, and I kept saying I wanted to go back to Disney. I wanted to go back so bad because I hadn't been in a long time. And I was like crying about it, and we just talked about going. And we got to the parks, I just burst into tears when I saw the Welcome to Walt Disney World sign, the big arch, Walt Disney World. And Tom's looking at me like, what is wrong with you? I remember you looking at me like, aren't you being a little ridiculous? You were. You just like make fun of me.
It's, I'm going to tell you, as someone who lived in California and who went to Disneyland, I'm not busting on Disneyland at all. I love Disneyland. But there's even a difference between Disneyland and Walt Disney World, I think.
Yeah, some people, their feelings about the park is Walt Disneyland. Or mine was because I was attached to Disney World, because what I grew up with.
But I mean, I'd been to Disneyland, when I lived in California, and it didn't seem like it was as... I guess I want to say it wasn't as an immersive experience.
That's probably true. I don't know now. It might be different now.
I think it's different because they've expanded so much.
Back then, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. But even other parks, like, people are like, oh, I'll just go to the local amusement park. It's like, look, we've got now, I grew up near Knoebels Grove.
Which I love Knoebels.
Knoebels is an amazing park. I mean, people come from all over the world to go to Knoebels in Elysburg, Pennsylvania, if you've never been there, because it's a classic amusement park. It's free admission. You just pay to ride what you want to ride. They've got all kinds of classic coasters and classic dark rides. Next to the Haunted Mansion, they probably have the number 2.
I hate that thing.
I know
I'm
it's
sorry.
loud, but they probably have the number 2 haunted house in the country next to the Haunted Mansion. But even that, it's a distant second.
Oh, there's no comparison. I'm sorry.
Same thing. Hershey Park is not the same thing. Six Flags, not the same thing.
It's cool in its way, as long as you remember it's not going to be Disney. But people were like, well, we can go there, so it's just as good. And it's like, no,
it's not the same.
No, it's not.
It's not the same. So
it's not.
That being said, I mean, I do think, people, businesses, charge what the market will bear, and if people are willing to pay this to go to Disney for that experience, or they're willing to pay more to get a better experience at Disney, then Disney as a business would be stupid not to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, because none of this is an essential. None of this is
right. But my point is, it doesn't put you out, though. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it stinks that it costs more, and it might make it a little harder for people to, or take a little longer. But there's no reason why people still can't go.
Yeah, put aside a couple $100 a month if you can, or find some other for a year or two, and
it might take you longer. And my mom, when I was a kid, they didn't have any of the discounts they have now, or free dining and all that. And she would just start saving money, and she'd put money back, and it might take her a year or two. They had vacation clubs and stuff, but we always went, and we always stayed in like the villas and stuff like that, so it wasn't cheap. But she always saved up, and it didn't hurt us any because she saved slowly, and we still got to go. So I think that's the same kind of thing here. It's like you can still go. No one's pricing you out.
Well, I think there for a while, and we talked about this before too, where I think Disney sort of became a value experience for a while, like in the 90s and early 2000s, because the park attendance was down. But they really weren't building a lot back then either.
No, they weren't.
And...
this is the most I've seen them do in a long time.
Oh yeah. Once New Fantasyland started, then it just seemed like that's when.
When they have Disneyland's doing stuff, Shanghai. They're talking about doing that one park in, where was it again, Columbia or something.
Columbia, they're talking.
And now they're doing all the stuff they're doing to Hollywood and Animal Kingdom. It's just it has to come somewhere, doesn't it? The money.
But the 80s, I mean, you mentioned that, like back in the 80s, Disney was a premium experience back then too.
Well, yeah, because they added
Epcot.
They did Epcot, and
MGM.
then Hollywood, and then back in the early 90s they added, and then they opened like late 90s, Animal Kingdom. So they were actually doing stuff, and that's when the prices went up again because they were adding stuff. But anyway. What's the point? I lost your point.
I don't know. The point was, we were actually going to talk about the business side of it, and then Bob Iger, I guess, was getting some flack for.
And he wasn't liking it.
Yeah, this is very typical. Analysts love to give Disney a black eye.
Analysts love to give anybody a black eye.
So they're basically jumping all over Iger for how come the park's not doing so well? How come ESPN's not doing well? During a call, and he's like, yeah, but our movies, he's like, did you see what we pulled off with the movies? And he's right, like they've had like $3 billion in
normally they get $770 million a year. They had $3 billion between Zootopia, Star Wars, Captain America, and Jungle Book.
Yeah,
they kicked butt.
Still surprises me, but yeah, I mean, just every movie that Disney's put out this year,
it's been like
so
a winner.
Far has been like mega blockbuster.
Yes, I mean, come on,
and then they're just like yeah, okay, that's cool, but yeah, your park attendance is down.
But yeah, your ESPN isn't doing great. It's like, are you kidding me?
That's pretty much what he was saying. Was he's like, and then he's gonna be stepping down in 2018 for sure. Then Tom Staggs resigned, and then Jay Rizzullo resigned last year. So like all these people that were,
they kept pointing that out too. They said it's because they resigned and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and because the people that they had primed to take over Disney aren't there, and he's leaving in 2018. So I don't know what I don't think
That
they
is,
have a
that's an
plan.
interesting point. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure they have a plan. We just they don't tell us doesn't mean they don't have one.
Right, he'll bring Michael Eisner back.
I'm sure they. Oh God, I'm sure they don't call you up and say, "Hey Tom,
They
here's our plan, and I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure I run it by you to
Yeah,
make sure
I
it's
know.
okay with you."
Hey, you podcasters and bloggers, we really care what you think. So we're gonna put the vote. We're actually gonna put a vote out there on Twitter, and we can vote in the next CEO of
I don't think they
Disney.
run it by you. I'm sorry, I don't think that
No.
happens.
No.
You all know they call me anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, okay, one of the business moves that Iger made in response to some of their areas of the business not doing so well. Apparently, games were not doing as well as they'd hoped, and they pulled the plug on Disney Infinity,
I'm so mad about this.
which we're really bummed about. We love Disney Infinity. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago they announced that Disney Infinity was no more. Whatever figures are coming out next, that's it. And
Let's talk about that, shall we?
okay, so the last figures coming out for Disney Infinity 3.0 are Finding Dory figures,
Yes, which
and
we have to get.
right, and Alice in Wonderland, or Alice Through the Looking Glass,
Right.
and we found them.
Yes. Okay. So I was in the town about 45 minutes from here the other day with my mom, and there was Mad Hatter and Alice out on the shelf. And I didn't grab them at the time because I was like, well, maybe they're everywhere, so I'll just wait. And I got home, and we looked at people said they started to find them, and they grabbed them when they found them because they aren't really readily available yet. And I didn't see them on Amazon or anything, so I thought, well, maybe we should go get them. So Tom drove an hour and a half round trip to go get Alice and the Hatter for our kids because we were going to review them on the blog and talk about them on here. And when he got to there, apparently there's a street date on them, which I had no idea. I thought that was for games. I did not know figures had street dates.
Yeah.
Because we always just buy them when we see them for our kids. And they were on the shelf, so we figured, the street date must be here. And they wouldn't ring through. So after 45 minutes?
I actually tried to ring them up on the self-checkout.
It's the forbidden
They
fruit.
said they were forbidden.
They're forbidden figures. Which, of course, when they're forbidden, you want them more.
I know. I'm like, no, I really want these now.
Because they're
Why
forbidden.
Can I buy
They're
them?
forbidden.
So, go ahead.
Why can't they make fatty fat cake forbidden?
Forbidden.
Well, no, it is forbidden. That's why I want it. So anyway, Tom went round and round. How many managers did you talk to?
I think 3 or 4 managers. I wound up talking to the electronics manager there. They had the toy manager. Then apparently we got the manager, the head manager of the store.
This is after 45 minutes to an hour.
45
and
minutes
an
of trying
hour
to
and a
figure
half
out
round trip. And our
why
daughter
I
missed
couldn't buy
Scout.
these.
So she missed her Scout meeting. She needed to go for a patch because we did not know it would take you this long. It wasn't supposed to take this long. Run in and grab them and come out. And then at the end, they refused to sell it to him, which I understand that they weren't allowed to. But then they said, but we can hold them for you if you want to come the way back here. We're like, we're not driving the way back an hour and a half to get them later.
No, it's like, we'll buy them on Amazon. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like after that ordeal.
Yeah, it was just a very off place. I mean, I understand they have street dates. I totally understand that. And they're not allowed to sell stuff.
They should have had it on the shelf.
They shouldn't have had it on the shelf. And I get that. And
It should have taken 45 minutes to figure out what was wrong.
No, and I hope they don't fire some kid over it.
No, I don't want that to happen.
But yeah, I had them in my hand. I had Alice and the Hatter.
Well, they're on the blog. There are pictures.
There are pictures on the blog.
Because your wonderful wife, that would be me, when I was there, I took pictures of them and I had sent them to him. And since I had got photos, you were able to put them on the blog anyway because you didn't think to get photos.
No.
They took them away from you. They were forbidden.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to stop for a picture.
Once.
You should have asked. Can you take a picture of me with these?
So people believe. Some people believe I actually could touch them.
That would be funny because they'd probably be like, "What?" They probably wouldn't let you
fondle
because
the Hatter and then get a picture of that for Instagram.
But
Okay,
they probably wouldn't do it because they'd be like, well, we're not supposed to have these out, so we can't do that. But you should have asked them.
Johnny Depp,
Well,
so sexy.
If I can't have these, will you at least take my picture with them?
Yeah.
No, but I luckily
Can I lick the bubble on the package? And he's like,
I luckily had got pictures, and I got pictures of Tsum Tsums too because they had a bunch of new ones.
Oh, yeah.
But I luckily got a picture of each one. They did not have time there though yet.
No,
so
he looks lame anyway.
So Tom put them up on the blog. So if you go to the where is that Pirates and Princesses?
PiratesandPrincesses.net.
If you go there, you can see them. We weren't allowed to buy them because they're forbidden.
The street date is the 24th. So probably by the time you're hearing this podcast,
go to your store and get them.
Yeah,
we will
go
be
get
getting them.
We will be getting them, but not from that Walmart.
No, not after that.
Not after that.
Anyway, so those are the last series coming out because they're discontinuing it now. It's sad.
Peter Pan might be coming out too.
Oh, is there?
There
Okay.
might be a Peter Pan.
Well, that'd be cool. We'll have to get these. But what's sad is here's what they had plans for. They're planning numerous new level packs, including one based on Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. As well as a new line of 12-inch figures. And they were also working on 2017 release of Disney Infinity 4.0.
Which would have had a story mode.
Mm-hmm.
Because this one complaint people had about Disney Infinity was it focused so much on building that it didn't actually have, a story mode like Skylanders, and this
It was going to give you that too.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's sad because I guess basically what happened was Battlefront did crazy well, but it was EA Games, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess what boiled down to was my understanding is the figures. The figures were the problem because
they are expensive.
They made so many figures, especially for 3.0. I mean, there were so many figures, and
they made too many.
They made too many.
They overdid it,
and they made characters that people didn't want. Like they keep talking about was it Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, the blue guy, and they're like, who?
Hey, he's coming to Steel City Con. The guy who plays him. Yes,
oh, cool.
That's
okay.
right.
He's
anyway,
in The Walking Dead too.
If you're by the Pittsburgh area, the Steel City Con in August, he's coming.
But they were making these oddball characters, for some of the Marvel movies that weren't the main. Like I can see them doing Spider-Man, I can see them doing, Groot and Rocket Raccoon. But some of these other characters is like, why would you make a figure of that? Why would somebody pay $12 to $15?
Right, and it backfired. Too many.
It backfired.
That happens often.
Right,
That's
and
usually Death Knell toy lines. You get greedy.
So they had all these figures. They said like the Incredible Hulk sold really well. They sold like 1 million Hulks, but they made 2 million Hulks.
Yeah.
So they were just kind of sitting
Check
there.
your bargain bins if you don't have that yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking you can probably get the figures cheap for now, but I think the last series figures are going to be really hard.
Well, a lot of people just collect the figures, don't even play with them. They just collect them because they're cool. So if you see figures, you don't have them, I would grab them. Also grab the last series. I'm agreeing with Tom on this. If I were you, I'd grab them. It just stinks because our kids absolutely
They loved it.
Disney Infinity. I mean, no matter what, my son will go play all these other games. He always comes back to Disney Infinity.
Well, the thing too that was and this is coming from Kotaku, which is a game site if you're not familiar with it, but they said that actually Disney Infinity, of all those toy to life games like Skylanders and Lego Dimensions, Disney Infinity was number one.
Yeah,
it was the top selling game.
Our kids loved it. Love Disney Infinity. They still do.
It just cost them so much because there's so many toys, and how Battlefront kind of did it in was what happened with Battlefront was they took a look and they're like, okay, well, we just licensed this game out. Why are we spending all the money on these action figures and doing everything in house when we can just job it out?
I mean, and our son absolutely adores Battlefront too. I mean, he kicks butt on that game. But it's just so sad because I really liked Infinity.
Yeah, and they didn't expect that to happen. They thought Battlefront was going to have an older audience, and actually a lot of kids
across
took to
the board. Yeah,
yeah, and it's a great game. But I guess Disney's plan for gaming now is they're not going to do it in house. Now here this, it's easy to say in hindsight, but the easiest thing for them to do, I think, with Infinity would have been to give people the option of just buying the figures digitally and not actually
and they could have
making
kept them
them
going. If they had plans for them already, I would have tried that first. You know what I'm saying?
I would have been like, okay, we're not going to release any more figures, but if you want the Zootopia characters, hit $10. It's DLC, and you get like 6 characters or something like that for because most people just want to play as the characters, but you have to go buy these physical action figures.
Yeah, I think if they'd done that, they could have kept it going longer without the overhead.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're not. But in 2017, we're supposed to see a new release of a new Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, it's not surprising because Battlefront did crazy well, and that's I mean I would say next to Infinity, I'd say it's probably our son's second favorite game.
Yeah, he loves.
Or actually, Battlefront.
I think Battlefront's his first.
Yeah.
Honestly, he plays it all the time, and he's really good at it.
He is really good at it.
He's crazy good at it. So, he uses your username, isn't it?
Yeah.
Neon. What
Neon
is it?
T.
So if you're on Battlefront, you see a Neon T on there.
You won't see him very long because you'll get shot to the head. And,
probably because he's well, he's not.
If you
He's
see
good.
Neon T, you're dead.
No, he gets killed quite often too. But if you see Neon T, that would be either Tom or.
Yeah, probably Tristan. I suck at it.
I tried. I'm like, I don't know. I'm running into a tree. I don't know how to control this thing. So.
Yeah, I'm not very good at first-person shooters. I never really have been.
Yeah, well, not me either. So, are we moving on?
Let's move on. We've talked enough about video games. So, we're going to talk about Disney dollars.
Disney dollars. They no longer exist, but...
No, they don't exist. Now, I'm familiar with them, but I don't think I've ever actually used them.
Oh, no, my brother had them. They started in 1987. Basically, you could trade money for Disney dollars, and you could spend the money in the parks.
Okay.
So they were spendable like a regular, like 10 for 10 or whatever. But
And-
then you can keep them if you wanted to keep them for collector's items.
So people do collect them. I've actually
Yeah.
never. I mean, I think come to think of it, I think I might have had a couple from Disneyland.
You might have.
But they're long gone. Like I never really kept them.
So they discontinued them on May 14th. So they're going to cease all sales of bills they did on May 14th. So Disney dollars will continue to be accepted. They don't expire. So if you have them, you can still spend them, but you can't buy them anymore.
Okay, well that's it. They said the gift cards. I mean, really now, like you don't need to have any physical anything. You go to parks like Disney World with a magic band.
Yeah, to say with the band, you just swipe it and it sends it to your
Right.
credit card anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I mean, I guess it's cool for a collectible, but there's pins and coins and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I want to start doing the coins. I actually like the coins.
Well, now they don't expire. So speaking of things that don't expire, this kind of leads into the next
Yes,
story, doesn't
and
it?
I remember the tickets when I was a kid that didn't have an expiration date. Back before they expired.
Okay.
Now they do. The tickets.
Oh, they do expire. Yeah. Okay. So this was actually on the Today Show, I believe. There's a woman named Chelsea Herline. She was 4 years old. She missed out at a day at Walt Disney World because she was too sick to go on her family's last day. She's 27 years old now, but she still had her ticket from 1994.
I feel old.
But you know what? She took the ticket to Disney World and they honored it.
Well, yeah, they would, because I think that one did have an expiration date. But when I was a kid, you get the tickets, and if you didn't use them all, my mom would use them next time we went. Like if we had like 7-day park tickets and we used 5, then we had 2 for next time. Because you used to be able to do that. Now you can do it now, but you have to pay an upcharge.
Yeah.
You can get non-expirable ones.
Oh yeah,
but
that's
they
right.
have to
That's
pay
right.
upcharge.
But yeah, so she brought this old ticket to the window, and they said that some of the people didn't even know what it was because they were so young they didn't realize. But it was an old Disney World ticket, and they said
She was expecting him to put up a fight for it, and they didn't. They let her right in. They said no problem.
yeah,
I mean,
and it had her picture from when she's like 4 years old on the ticket.
oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's on today.com. But yeah, so they have her picture. It looks very 90s. It's got the whole 90s.
Oh, she even
purple
wrote her
and-
name on it.
Yeah.
Aw, that's so cute.
And yeah, so she went to the park for a day. She got in, and they actually had management come over because they're like, what is this ancient thing?
So
that-"
they were really nice about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there you go. That's cool. So if you have a ticket and it hasn't expired, you still can use it.
Yeah. So, and you're
Go check your tickets.
So I want to see a story like 20 years from now, somebody like coming and paying for dinner with Disney dollars.
Yeah,
Being
this
like,
is going
I've still got my Disney dollars from 20 years ago.
That's going to happen.
Can I
We'll have
pay
to watch
for
the news
this?
for that. Okay. So here we go. Coming up in a few days. Kilimanjaro Safaris, Nighttime Safaris, Tree of Life Awakenings, Tiffin's Restaurant, and Nomad Lounge. Beginning May 27th, the park will awaken at night with new rich experiences under the stars. An exciting lineup of new experiences.
This is in Animal Kingdom.
This is WDWNT.com. They're going to have After the Sun Sets, Nightly Awakenings of the park's iconic Tree of Life, which if you have not seen the video, go online and look. It's really cool. The animal spirits brought to life each night by the magical fireflies. It's really, really neat. And then you'll have the Kilimanjaro Safaris at night, so you can see the nighttime behavior of animals. And what else does it have, Tom?
I'm looking.
The village of Harambe in Africa will become a place wildlife party.
Party.
Yeah, spirited community.
PARTI.
Yes, and the spirited community of Discovery Island will come together to celebrate the love of natural world with Discovery Island Carnival.
Oh, that's interesting.
So there's a party and Carnival.
So yeah, all the nighttime entertainment in Animal Kingdom, which is cool because Animal Kingdom was always a half-day park, and now we're doing all these nighttime shows. Probably getting ready for
There's the water.
Pandora.
Oh, so neat.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The water show is amazing.
Well, as of May 21st,
So yesterday.
Fast Pass Plus and dining packages were available.
So go do that too.
Go do that.
Man, we're missing all the Fast Passes
I know
and
we
stuff.
need to get down there like soon. With Frozen and everything too. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm wondering if people are holding off going to the parks until they open all the stuff.
I don't know. May 28th, the Jungle Book Alive with Magic. The Discover River will be awakened at night. So this is the day after. The 27th
Right.
starts the tree. Then the 28th starts the Alive with Magic. And a stunning stage performances, limited engagement show. The Jungle Book Alive with Magic feature memorable moments from the film, including iconic Shere Khan. It will be filled with music and special effects.
Now this is the
Water show, it looks like.
The water show, yeah.
Yeah.
The fountain show.
And then
it's like
June,
Phantasmic Animal.
Okay, then they're talking about
Edition.
June 21st with Summer House, which we already knew about.
Yeah, so these are some opening dates.
Oh, here we go. June 17th. This is what Tom's been waiting for.
Yeah, it's June 17th. About dang time, soaring around the world at California Adventure and Epcot Walt Disney World. I've actually seen a bit of the video of the Shanghai version of it, and it looks really impressive. I mean, this film, they've been talking about updating Soarin' for like years, like 5 years now. They've been talking about it, and it's pretty much what everybody thought it was going to be. They have the pyramids and the Great Wall, and but it's about time, because I know the last time we were on Soarin', the film looked bad.
It did, actually. To be honest, it did.
Yeah, there was all kinds of grain, and it looked, and it never made sense.
I think the projector is probably dirty too.
Yeah.
With the little splotches in the screen.
They probably figured we're changing it all out anyway, so it
what's
doesn't
bother?
matter, But they'll have hopefully they'll have the other theater open, so they'll have more seating on Soarin'.
And another exciting thing, June 17th, also, the new nighttime show, the Star Wars Galactic Spectacular.
Yeah.
Will perform its nightly performances June 17th. It'll combine fireworks, pyrotechnics, special effects, and video productions to turn the park's Chinese theater and other buildings into the Twin Suns of Tatooine, a field of battle droids, trenches of Death Star, Star Killer Base, another Death Star, and other Star Wars destinations. The show will feature music from the film franchise. And it'll be punctuated with a tower of fire and spotlight beams, creating a massive lightsaber in the sky.
Yeah. So this is why we're not getting Star Wars weekends, because every night will be Star Wars weekends.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Starting June 17th. So there we got June. Those all three in June, and then from May, pretty much like next week until June 7th or June 21st, all kinds of stuff. I can't speak today. And also June 17th, Mickey's World Friendship Fair. What is this? Classic. Where's this at?
I don't know. Actually, I never really followed.
I'm
this
looking
one.
to see where this one's at.
Is this it's
going to
parade?
be.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know. I didn't even know about this. Brings to life beloved Disney stories, both classic and contemporary, in a spectacular performance featuring an original song, memorable music, lively dancing, and delightful costumes.
Is it a castle show?
Mickey and his troupe of merry makers have invited friends from other lands to join them in grand celebration.
It sounds like a castle.
So, in addition, I don't know, to favorites like Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, etc. The show will bring together a wonderful cast of characters from Disney's newest classics, Frozen, surprise, Tangled, and Princess and the Frog. And I love Tangled and I love Princess and the Frog. So
this has to be the castle show.
It's a unique story of citizens who make up the magical kingdom and wonderful things that can happen.
I don't watch a castle
when
show.
they try new things. So we'll have to find out what that is. But it sounds like a castle show. Yes. So there's another new thing. I am so excited. I could pee myself. We need to go down there as soon as possible.
I think we need to go here in the next month or two.
All these new things are coming that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. You know, it's funny because Animal Kingdom, I mean, with all the stuff going on at Magic Kingdom and Hollywood, I actually think Animal Kingdom I'm starting to get really excited about because they have, stuff going on, nighttime shows, which
and
cool.
Go look at the videos. If you want to know why we're excited, go check out the videos on YouTube.
It looks really good.
Amazing.
At first I was like, oh, they're going to do okay at nighttime Animal Kingdom yawn, but
it's
you
really
actually
cool.
See it, and I'm like, no, this is really exciting. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I've seen the previews of Pandora, and even though I wasn't a huge fan of the Avatar movie, I think it's going to be a pretty solid.
Our son was all excited about it,
and he didn't even like the movie.
No, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome!"
It's going to be cool because it is going to be really cool. They have technology where, like the movie, where when you step on the ground, it leaves the blue phosphorescent footprint. The place is going to be lit up at night. I mean, think about Animal Kingdom at night when you've got Pandora with all the trees lit up and everything, and then you walk and go see the nighttime show. Well, I mean, it's going to be pretty.
It's going to be amazing.
Awesome.
It's going to be very
awesome.
Cool. So, I mean, if you haven't, if you're getting excited about that, I would start looking into saving money for a trip.
Yeah.
To go see that if you haven't done so already.
Well, it's going to make it, Animal Kingdom actually kind of being a destination where it never really has been before. It was kind of like, oh yeah, we'll just go.
It was a half day park. I mean, we always joked it was a half day park, but now I think it's going to be like, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this, and I don't know how much of it's closed down now because I haven't been there for a while. But the walking trails they have, are they still open? Do you know?
Yeah, they're there.
Okay, the walking trails. If you get a chance, go on those. They are really, really cool. I mean, we spent a whole one day, and that was like one of our favorite days at Animal Kingdom ever.
The walking trails, yeah.
And they are amazing. So if you get a chance and you're in Animal Kingdom and you're like, well, I rode the rides, what do I do? Take the walking trails. They are very, very cool. Spend some time at the Tree of Life and look at the carvings. amazing work. I'm an
Yeah.
art teacher. They're amazing. So just, if you have some time, go spend some time looking at this stuff.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom it really is. It's a beautiful park. It's a wonderful idea. The only downside to it is, there aren't enough attractions which are fixing.
They're
And
fixing that.
Dinoland
They're
USA.
fixing
Just
that.
do something with Dinoland USA already. 'Cause
Don't take out the boneyard because our daughter will
No.
hunt you down
keep
and
the
find
dinosaur
you.
ride. I do like dinosaur, but it doesn't work.
Well, they're going to be redoing dinosaur soon. I thought they were going to close that down soon. I could be wrong.
I think they're refurbishing it. I don't know what
Yes.
they're gonna do with it. I don't think they're gonna gut it completely.
No, but they're redoing it like a refurb.
Yeah.
But
Well, some of the effects, I guess, are broken and.
Well, it
stuff,
could
so.
be. Our daughter, though, loves the boneyard. I mean, that's the first thing she talks about. You mentioned Animal Kingdom, all she cares about is that we go into the
Yeah,
boneyard.
the boneyard.
You going to the boneyard? Okay, so speaking of other things that are cool, and this is one thing that they're doing all this cool tech stuff with the parks. You go ahead. And I've been talking, so you can do it.
Personalized message from Space Mountain via your Magic Band, I believe.
This is so cool.
So Small World has this.
I know, I'm
already,
very
where you
excited
go
to see that.
through
I can't wait
and
to see that.
Put your name. So this is coming from Inside the Magic. It looks like Space Mountain has jumped on the bandwagon, offering guests silly personalized quotes as you ascend the moving sidewalk after the ride. It's a fun little way for guests to immerse themselves a little bit. Doesn't necessarily add or take away from the experience, so why not? And they have a video.
If you
of
go
it
to InsideTheMagic.net,
InsideTheMagic.net.
there's a video
and it
of
has
it.
your name on it as your.
This one has like protect yourself from planetary gas. It has their names. So, well, protect yourself from gas in general.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And it's a really cool little thing that they're doing. And I think it sort of helps justify the expense of the Magic Band that they can do stuff like this, little things like that. I think the park are pretty cool.
They should do alien poop candy.
Alien poop candy.
They got rid of the alien poop or the animal poop stuff. They should do alien poop.
Yeah, that was quick, wasn't it? It was like a week.
I know. I would have loved to have gotten that. Man, I'm still mad about
Oh,
that.
so-
Still angry. Okay.
Speaking of things that might get gone soon.
Oh yeah, our son's upset about
and
this.
this doesn't make me happy either, but
It is what it is. Okay, let's go. Oh, am I talking this time?
you can talk about it.
Okay, Interventions. I'm sure you've been there. Usually when you're there, it's not very busy, and sometimes it is. But the one thing that usually was busy was the Sun of All Thrills, and they're closing it. So
It's a rumor. But
Okay.
they're pretty sure.
Are you sure it's a rumor? I thought it was a thing.
Well,
I thought they had a date for it.
Interventions in general, I think, is gonna go away.
You sure it's a rumor? Well, apparently it's a rumor. Early this week, Some of the Thrills completely disappeared from the Epcot guide map.
Oh, well then now I think it's pretty much a done
So I'm
deal.
thinking it's not a rumor. And if this wasn't concerning enough, yesterday the Summer of Thrills website, you could, if you did a roller coaster, you got a little card, and you can go home and you could do your ride again at home on your computer.
Yeah, some people. I mean, I think they missed it altogether because it was in Interventions.
Yeah.
But it was a,
We did
a
it once.
roller coaster simulator.
So they said that those replays will only be available until June 30th, and then they're not going to be.
Oh yeah.
They have not confirmed it officially, but it's off the map, and you can't use your ride things anymore online. So
Oh yeah. Well, that's pretty much.
I'm
just
thinking that's pretty much toast. They got rid of the
Some
piggy
bowl.
bank thing too, didn't the kids like that? Didn't they get rid
Yeah,
of
the
that?
Great Piggy Bank Challenge.
My kids love that. They got rid of that too. People need to check out stuff in there because sometimes they have really cool things in there, and people just don't go in there.
No, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Interventions. I mean, right now they have the meet and greet in there, and
yeah.
they're closing attractions like crazy. And
But they don't have the sponsors for it, so
no, and the thing about Interventions is always kind of odd. Was like, I mean, even when the park is packed, like nobody goes into Interventions.
it's a good place to go if you want to take a minute to cool down and sit.
I like it, and we actually spent a couple trips. We actually spent time, went through and did all the stuff
kids
in
like
Interventions.
it. Our kids like it.
They loved it. My son was actually talking about, like, I can't wait to go back and do some more stuff at Interventions because we didn't get to do the other side. you know?
Yeah, no, we don't know if we're gonna get to. We didn't get to do the Sum of All Thrills last time, and he's like, "Oh no."
So what are they? I want to know what they're going to do with it then, because they just
I don't know.
painted it. Not
Well,
too
when
long
they
ago,
called me last week to ask me my opinion on things, they told me.
and Bob Iger,
He
called
asked
you.
me about going to lunch next week.
Cam, I don't know what to do with Interventions. What would you
What
suggest?
do you think? Yeah, no, that did. Yeah, and then I woke up. So, yeah, I have no idea what they're doing with it.
I don't know, because I think they have the Tony Stark Expo out in California, where Interventions used to be, I think. I haven't been out
That'd
to
be cool.
California.
I would like to see that.
But they
sometime.
can't do that in Orlando, so.
No, because of the deal with.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so we're talking about Disney
Anyway.
Springs. You can talk about Disney Springs because I've been talking. It's your
Disney
turn.
Springs is happening or happened.
It's happened. It's already
pretty
they're
much
opening
a
and stuff now.
thing. We haven't been to Disney Springs yet, but
Seen videos. It looks really cool.
yeah, it looks cool. It looks very different. Like, I mean, you look at it and I'm like, I can't even tell it was Downtown Disney.
No.
It's strange. I mean,
It
it almost
is.
looks like a retirement community
a
or there or
retirement
something.
community?
It's like,
Okay, so talk about the bus stop. It said, this is back in the 19th, a couple days ago. You had to open the new bus drop off and pickup zone essentially complete. The bus drivers are familiarizing themselves with the layout. When is it opening officially?
I don't, sometime in June, I think. Sometime in June.
June's
I mean, it's
busy.
pretty,
My gosh.
it's pretty much done. I mean, my understanding is it's pretty much a done thing.
Okay, unique to Disney World, the bus depot separates the guest drop-off from the pickup. This will allow a more efficient system, speeding up loading time. Okay, that makes sense because usually you have to wait for everybody to get off and then get back on. Drop-off will send guests right into the middle of Town Center. The pickup location load near Planet Hollywood Observatory and a new Coca-Cola store.
Oh, they have Beverly, like
I don't
bottles
know.
of Beverly.
We saw a picture of a cup yesterday online, and I said, "Oh, where's this from?" And immediately my son's like, "Oh, it's the cooling station."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Is it Beverly?"
Yeah,
So,
I love Beverly. It's so nasty.
it's so great. Try Beverly. Oh, I mean, it's great. Try it. Okay. We can talk about the new parking deck. They're having new garages for parking. Planet Hollywood Observatory is being transformed. I haven't been to Planet Hollywood for a long time. Let's see what else. This is just pictures. So this is on the DisneyBlog.com. So if you want to see some photos in construction, you can see there. Coca-Cola store appears being much closer to being ready. They're doing work on the top deck, and a giant Coca-Cola logo sign has yet to be added.
I guess Disney Springs even has a story to it. They have a story.
Do
the whole
they?
Concept, yeah.
There's something called the Edison. Wait, is that like the
Yeah,
Victorian?
we're gonna talk about that. The Edison
Oh, that I'm
restaurant. Yeah.
excited about. Okay, that's not on this one, but go ahead and tell me what you know. Fill me in.
Yeah, it's a restaurant called
Okay.
the Edison.
Well, that doesn't help me.
And it's gonna open soon.
I'm gonna call Bob and ask him what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay.
poor Bob.
So here's a video. If you go to WDWMagic.com, they have a video walkthrough of the town center at Disney Springs. You can go watch. That'll give you some more information. What else?
Basically,
do we have?
it's just all coming together, and it looks really amazing. There's so much coming out of Disney World right now that it's like insane.
Here's
it's like
the Edison.
every week.
Here's the Edison. Okay, now you can fill us in on the Edison, Tom. Here. Oh, that looks amazing. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, we're looking at
2017.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah, I know we heard about it. I'm looking at the design here, but it looks
it's
like almost like
amazing.
a factory. It has a sister location in LA.
LA, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to get
And
back
it's gonna
up
have
here.
the tower, the Edison Tower. The
It's
lab.
1920.
Yeah, it's 1920s period electric company power plant. 35-foot high ceilings. They're going to have a number of distinct spaces: the lab performance space, the Ember Parlor, Telegraph Lounge, the Patent Office, the Tesla Lounge, the radio room, and waterfront patio. The lab performance room will feature entertainment such as contortionists, palm readers, live DJs, and more.
This is amazing.
So this is like almost like the steampunk restaurant.
Okay,
in
this is what.
Disney.
Yes, we'll
Yeah.
take it. We'll take it.
We
Thank
will
you.
absolutely take the Edison. And I have to wonder if they didn't plan this like when they were doing Tomorrowland. Because
They
it
might
kinda
have. It
reminds
makes
me of-
sense.
yeah, and then Tomorrowland didn't do so hot. So it just,
I keep thinking of Tristan's song.
oh, geez, yeah.
If you
Yeah,
haven't
go
heard
back-
that, listen to Tristan.
Go
sing.
back in the archives if you haven't heard our review of Tomorrowland last year.
Yeah, our
And
son will sing for you. He does
Yeah.
that often.
so, yeah, the Edison looks really good. That's not until next year, though. So, okay, what else do we got that's going on now? So let's go out to Disneyland for a little bit and talk
Okay.
about stuff going on there. There's all kinds of construction, so we're not alone on the
Yeah,
East
no,
Coast.
it's everywhere.
Yeah, so they're taking out the Skyway.
They
ride
are.
to work on the Skyway Chalet in Fantasyland, to do work on Star Wars Land.
Okay, that makes sense. They've been doing a lot of things like that.
Yeah, so Star Wars Land is turning into quite the project, I guess. I'm looking at videos and pictures here. Disneyland, Star Wars construction, and there's a rumor with Disneyland Star Wars, at least. Now, I don't know if they'll do it at Disney World,
They better.
but they're talking about having something called Force Opportunities, and this is a rumor, but this is sort of like a kid can walk up to a boulder and try to use the force on the boulder, and it might not move for him, but it'll move for somebody else.
It's random.
Yeah, it's a random thing. So some people are Jedi and some people are Jedi, and I don't know how they're going to determine that. Now, of course, Disney World, it'll probably be determined by Magic Band, or something. But I'm using the Force to tell you your name. But yeah, it sounds like a really cool thing if they had chances for people to interact with.
That does sound really
things.
cool.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot, actually. That makes sense. Okay, well, let's go down here and see what this is. Soaring around the world Disneyland, they can tour?
Yeah, I guess you can tour Soaring Around the World at Disneyland if you're a DVC member.
When's that start? Now?
Not exactly sure.
Wednesdays at 10 a.m. beginning July 6th.
July 6th, if you're a DVC member, starting Wednesdays at 10. July
Starting
6th.
July 6th, offered most Wednesdays at 10 a.m.
Most Wednesdays at 10, you can do a tour. So that's really cool.
Is that only Disneyland or is it Disney
I
World
think it's
too?
just Disneyland only.
Oh, typical. Anyway, so we go here. Okay, now we're going to Shanghai.
So we're going farther and farther away from Disney World.
Tom's other favorite topic, Shanghai.
Shanghai.
I swear if he says Shanghai one more time, I'm going to be like, would you stop talking about Shanghai?
Yeah,
Anyway.
so Shanghai, there were a lot of issues. I guess anytime you open a park, you're going to have issues. But these are some of the issues that people were making comments about. They said the ride-through videos, Disney, obviously they weren't very happy about them being leaked out, but they said that people were either overwhelmed or underwhelmed.
We were underwhelmed.
I think with Pirates,
we
talked about that in the last podcast. I think with Pirates, especially, I think you'd need to see that in person because from where I'm sitting, it just looks like a bunch of screens.
Yeah, from the video, we were like, what?
Yeah.
We talked about that
Soaring
earlier.
Over the World was leaked, which I actually did watch.
He saw that, yeah.
And so people were sort of like, hey, we expected more.
It doesn't necessarily translate. The experience doesn't translate well on a flat video, is what they're saying.
No, and that's true. And I think Pirates is probably the biggest offender of that because it was just like
because there's guys screaming, "Oh my God!" repeatedly, and I'm just like,
yeah. So it had to have been more impressive. It had to have been more impressive, I think, in person than it looked in the video.
Okay, now number 2, no balloons allowed in the train.
Oh, okay. That's a problem.
Okay, one of the most iconic souvenirs, a Mickey Mouse balloon.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't meant to last forever. Plenty of guests love to bring them home. However, recent visitors to Shanghai have discovered that the $9 Mickey Mouse balloons that are being sold at the park are actually prohibited items on nearby metro train.
Oh, so you're trying to go home with your Mickey souvenir.
That's what they should have checked first.
Yeah.
So their security personnel have been requiring guests to throw their balloons in the trash before boarding.
Oh man,
that really stinks.
They probably spent like $10 on the
safety concerns about the hydrogen gas and the inflatables. They suggested that Disney warned guests before selling them the balloon that these items aren't allowed on the train. Yeah, that's not good. I never would have thought of that.
No, so people were they've got their souvenirs, they're gonna take them home, and they can't
because balloons are big. I mean, a lot of people buy the balloons, and that's just wow, I never thought about that. That's a good point. Familiar food problem.
Well, they ran out of food.
Oh no, there you go. You read this one.
If you're a Disney history buff, this is coming from themeparktourist.com. If you're a Disney history buff, chances are good that you know about Disneyland's disastrous opening day, which included melting pavement, plumbing issues, and massive food supply issues. So technically, I guess they ran out of food. The price was inflated.
The technical rehearsal, lack of food at the rehearsal.
Yeah. So the price was inflated 3 to 4 times what locals are used to. Some of that can be chalked up to general Disney upcharges. But it looks like there could be some pushback on this point for local guests. Disney may tweak its food pricing structure for this market before opening day in order to keep guests happy.
Well, what about everybody here is complaining about the up prices in food? They're not lowering the prices again to make us happy.
You just get the dining plan and be done with it.
Keeping it clean. It's easy to take Disney parks around the world take for granted, but you've been to parks. They're amazingly clean.
Yeah.
They'll tell you any janitorial cast member that works at Disney Park will tell you it takes a village working nearly around the clock to keep it squeaky clean. I'm sure it does. Mm-hmm. They need to hire. It says unfortunately, it looks like Shanghai might need to hire a few extra staff members. During a recent holiday, throngs of guests swarmed the Disneytown shopping district. Okay, because it's opened ahead.
Right.
Looking to spend some time at Shanghai Disneyland before its opening. And the massive amount of guests overwhelmed cast members tramping flower beds, leaving trash, and even some extreme cases vandalizing structures.
Like lampposts. Yeah, it
Why would
shows
you do
some writing on
that?
it. Well, these people aren't, I mean, this is Disney Town, so this is like
But still.
downtown Disney. I'm sorry, Disney Springs, and I guess anybody can just go to Disney Town.
I know, but why would you
they're-
do that?
Because they're idiots. So,
I just can't imagine. Why you would just ruin it for everybody else because you can. Yeah, it's not even open yet. It's already getting ruined.
yeah, I know.
So, though the Shanghai Disneyland cast members were eventually able to get the mess left by the huge crowd cleaned up, several images circulated via social media showing some of the destruction that happened while guests were still swarming. It's been a PR black eye, of course. The good news is that Disney has no doubt learned from this experience, and they're going to beef up their staff. And
Well, yeah, and they're going to hire more ninjas. They're going to hire ninjas.
But that's Japan. But I go to Japan to hire some ninjas.
Yeah, they're going to hire ninjas to take care of their parks over there. So that's what I would do.
I mean, anytime you have a park open, you're going to have issues.
You're going to have issues.
This is another country, so you're not. It's not like you have, like if you open another one in the U.S., it's like, well, we know from last time we're worried about these things, but it's another country with different expectations. Like no one would have saw the train thing coming.
No, and that kind of reminds me of like video games. Like I always joke, never buy a video game console day of release. You wait a few months until they get all the bugs worked out.
Yeah, we always do that.
And that's kind of the same with the park. Like it's cool to go opening day, but you're not going to get the full experience. Even Disney World, we were watching videos on Disney World opening in '71, and it was like half the park it is now. I mean, they really didn't have a lot of things open. There were problems.
Well, not just that. I mean, I would never go opening day anyway because it's going to be a cluster.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
the people in general.
Just to say you're there opening day is really the only reason to go opening day.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's going to be a mess. Anyway, just from the sheer crowds.
Right.
Okay, so what's this about? This new value hotel in discussion, but not for the United States.
No, this is in Paris. I guess they're going to have an Art of Animation style hotel in Paris. So this is coming from DLP today, comprising a sizable central building with 4 accommodation blocks and space reserved for a 5th.
3 wings.
Yeah, it's apparently dubbed the New Wave. I don't know, but it's gonna be interesting because they're gonna do really like an animation theme hotel in Paris. That's the rumor.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
that would be cool. And
If you're
Art of
going to
Animation
Paris.
is a pretty cool hotel.
I remember when it was the other half of Pop Century was sitting there empty and it was creepy.
Oh, that was creepy.
It freaked me out.
Yeah, the first time we'd gone, we stayed at the Pop Century, and yeah, the hotel was empty on the other side
It
of
was
the lake.
freaky. It was like
really,
ghost hotel.
It was really creepy. And then
the second time they were working on it.
second time we're at the Pop, they were working on it. Yeah. But it was so weird that first time. It was like, yeah, that's a dark, evil place over there.
I have this weird thing. It's very weird, and I admit it's weird about things creeping me out. Like Statue of Liberty creeps me out. Don't know why it does. The Swan and the Dolphin Hotel freak me out a lot. And then that empty hotel thing sitting there like ghost hotel, just sitting there nothingness was pretty creepy to me.
Yeah, they have now. If you go out to YouTube, it was supposed to be the legendary years, the Pop Century.
I'm bummed. I would have loved to have seen that.
And well, what happened was, I guess 9/11 happened, and the park attendance dropped because people weren't flying. So they just left that half of the resort.
I would love to
empty.
have seen the legendary years. I mean, the animation is really cool, though. I mean, I like that too, but I would love to have seen the legendary years.
Yeah, I think that would have been a cool, especially if you get like the 20s and 30s.
Because Disney did a lot in the 20s and 30s, well,
Yeah.
30s especially, and 40s. So yeah, that'd been awesome. Okay, so what's this?
This is
Oh, yeah, this
we're going
is
to talk about
awesome.
Star Wars because we have to talk about Star Wars, and we were
Yes.
actually going to do a separate podcast for this, but you know what, we'll just roll into this one. Rogue One, they've
Mm-hmm.
had some major plot and character leaks because some of the merchandise is already starting.
Yeah, I don't know if it got plugged up or not, but we caught it before it was plugged, so we'll talk about it. So apparently somehow the original visual story guide got leaked somewhere. I think it was like for a pre-order of books, like a book
Yeah.
pre-order or something.
Yeah.
It got leaked, and on the cover you can see a whole bunch of the characters, and they have information.
Mhm.
So it was on is it Edelweiss? How do you say
I
it?
don't know.
Had a bunch of images and information on there. I guess it was the visual story guide. It was a pre-order on Amazon due January 24th. Okay, new TIE Striker for the Empire, U-wing for the Rebels. AT-AT says AT-ACT.
Alternate armored carrier transport. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So they're going to have, I mean, this is a bit of a retcon, but they're going to have new vehicles that are definitely old school style vehicles. And we know for sure Vader's going to be in it because he's
They show his
prominent
picture.
in the artwork. But that totally
Yeah,
makes
and the
sense.
images seem to confirm that we've important Sith Lord is going to be in it. The cast that is Jyn Erso is the Felicity Jones character. Director Krennic, that's the
Yeah, the guy, the Imperial
white
guy
outfit.
with the white outfit. Everybody wondered who this guy was.
Director Krennic. We have Captain Castian Andor. And then the droid Alan Tudyk is K-250, the Enforcer droid.
Yeah, and he looks like a cross between a battle droid from the prequels and 2-1B.
2-1B. Yeah, he looks like 2-1B. I thought that too. Is it Baze?
Baze or
Baze, something.
I don't know.
And he's like almost like a.
They have a lot of like kung fu
The one thing
style.
I sent you, you didn't put in here. I sent you the thing that had the actual write-ups of what the characters are supposed to be, and you
okay.
didn't put it in here.
Whoops.
We'll put it in the next one.
Okay.
How do you say this?
Pow.
No.
Bodhi Rook.
Yeah. So
I don't know. These are Star Wars names. I have
How
no
is the other
idea.
one?
It looks like they have. It's like they have a lot of like almost like old kung fu style characters. in
Where's the
this.
Bothans?
The Bothans were the second Death Star.
Oh, was it?
That'll be another
Nah,
movie.
you're right. That's many Bothans died. The second Death Star. Okay, yeah, yep, you're right.
That'll be the next Star Wars story.
That'll be
movie.
the next
It'll be
Rogue
called
One.
Many
Rogue
Bothans.
2.
Many
Many
Bothans.
Bothans died.
A tragic love story. You know, one Bothan dies, the other lives.
Many
That'll be the last shot of the movie. Is you'll have a Bothan crying, whatever a Bothan looks. I think they look like furry things. I don't remember.
Okay. Then there's this Chirrut. I don't know. The names would be better when they actually tell you what they are.
Right.
So
So there's a bunch of people.
A bunch
and-
more. There's other ones.
And the main
Bistan,
character.
Darth Vader.
And Darth Vader. I can pronounce that.
He's on here. Darth Vader. So these are the characters they have in here. There's information. If you search, you can find it. They have pictures. Here, Chirrut is that one thing. They tell you the pronunciation right there.
Oh, okay.
So they have here's the write-ups, but I can't really read them right now. But there's a picture that has write-ups and stuff on it. So you have to check that out. Star Wars Rogue One, Star Wars Celebration.
Oh yeah, okay. So they're gonna do this new. They're gonna do new shows on I believe it's on StarWars.com or on YouTube. They're gonna be like little 7-minute
Oh, that's cool.
episodes. The first thing they're gonna talk about is Rogue One,
Of course.
So now we can talk about Rogue One because Episode 7 is behind us.
Yes.
So. And then since Rogue One is out of theaters, it'll be all Episode 8 all the time.
So they're going to do these little 7-minute things to talk about Rogue One.
Right. It's almost like a talk show. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, let's see what else we got. I'm running out of battery on my computer, so.
All right. So the new Han Solo is, I believe his name is
How do you say that?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Oh, yeah, that's probably what it
Does
is.
that sound about right? But he's going to be the new Han Solo in the Han Solo standalone movies. So Han is not dead, and he will
Well,
shoot first.
he is now, but
No, Han Shoots First needs to be the name of the movie.
Han shot first. Yeah.
Han's First Shot.
I'm sure there's a documentary called Han Shot First out there. I'll bet money on it.
Han's First Shot. That needs to be the name of this movie. So anyway, they cast this guy, and he was in Hail Caesar, which I have not seen yet.
I wanna see
I'd like
that.
to see it. It looks really funny.
They said 2,500 actors auditioned for the role.
Oh, I imagine like everybody wanted to be
Yeah.
Han Solo. So I hope he's good. I mean, that's a huge role to. I mean, because
well,
Han
Steven
Solo.
Spielberg vouched for him too, which helped.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Steven Spielberg helped cast him. I'm just like I wouldn't even want to go there. I mean, that's just
What audition for that or cast it?
Well, yeah, both. Because I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're the most iconic space hero of all time, and he is arguably the most popular Star Wars character of all time.
Yeah, I think he is definitely.
Either Han Solo or Vader, but I think Solo definitely is.
He's
huge.
one of the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about virtual reality games, new app, Disney Movies VR.
Disney Movies VR. This just came to Steam, and I haven't tried it
Steam,
because we
okay.
don't have the equipment for it. But Disney Movies VR, it provides streaming access to virtual reality content, and it's gone online on Steam. Now, this is from InsideTheMagic.net. The write-up says, transport yourself into a wonderful world of Disney from your very own living room with Disney Movies VR. The app is a fully immersive experience where you visit themed worlds including Disney, Marvel, and Lucasfilm, and interact with some of your favorite characters in their natural environments. Choose from multiple scenes in Disney movies including The Jungle Book, Captain America, and Star Wars and be part of the action. Disney Movies VR is your ticket to full immersion in the many Disney experiences optimized for virtual reality. brought to you by the imaginative minds at Disney. But you need
Oh my God, this is awesome.
what you need for this. You need specific tech, Steam for Windows 7, 8, or 10. Well, it's easy enough. And it's only compatible with HTC Vive virtual reality headsets.
Is that what Tristan wanted for Christmas?
A Vive? I don't know.
No, but some different. We'll have to get. We'll
No, he
have
wanted
to.
an Oculus. He wanted an
Okay, well,
Oculus.
do you know how much these are?
I have no idea.
I'll have to find out because I might be looking into
Yeah,
that.
so get an HTC Vive virtual reality headset, and you too can play out the end of Carousel of Progress with your virtual reality headset in virtual Disney.
I want to see. Yes, that's what they're doing at the end of Carousel of Progress, right? They're doing this. We still know that. So they actually weren't dated.
Yeah.
They were ahead. It was,
right.
And now they're dated because now they're behind.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Is there anything else?
So we did talk a little bit about Disney movies breaking records this year. Captain America: Civil War crossed the $1 billion mark at the global box office.
I'm not surprised.
That doesn't surprise me at all. It's basically Avengers 2.5.
It's really good too. It's really good.
It was really good. It was really good. So, but that's like the third movie they've had cross the $1 billion mark.
No, this is the first $1 billion movie of 2016, and the 10th film in Disney history.
Okay.
The other 9 are Star Wars, obviously, Avengers Age of Ultron, Frozen, Iron Man 3, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, Toy Story 3, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, and Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Alice in Wonderland surprises me, but the rest don't.
I also wondered. The first one did really well. The second one, the reviews aren't too hot on. But
I haven't seen it yet. I'd rather like the first one.
Yeah. Now, here's some sad news. Apparently, Robin Williams was going to be the BFG.
Oh, no, he would have been good at it, too.
Yeah.
I'm saying the person that's doing it now isn't.
So, this is coming from Entertainment Weekly. Steven Spielberg's The BFG will stomp into theaters in July with Bridge of Spies Oscar winner Mark Rylance towering over it as the title character. But Roald Dahl's 1982 children's novel was almost adapted into a movie 2 decades ago when producers Kathleen Kennedy of Star Wars and Frank Marshall first started developing it in the early 1990s. And Robin Williams was supposed to. Now, it's interesting how this sort of thing works out, because I know, like with Frozen, there were 2 or 3 attempts to do
well, in this case, they
Snow
said the
Queen
problem was the
before.
technology wasn't there then to pull
technology
it off.
wasn't there, but they wanted to do the Snow Queen. Disney wanted to do the Snow Queen a few times, and then they just never.
I thought they couldn't find the right story for it. Because
Well,
not really a Snow Queen. It is, but it isn't.
It's sort of, kind of what they do with Pinocchio, where they really lighten it up.
But they couldn't do it because they technically didn't have the ability to do it. And then he was doing Aladdin then too. But
yeah.
so that's why they didn't do it, because they didn't have the technology then to do what they can do now.
Well, that's really interesting and sad, and kind of makes me wonder what could have happened. Now, people are raving about the BFG, what they've seen of it, though.
See, that's it. They keep showing these commercials and previews. They don't look very appealing at all. And then people go to the movies and like, oh my gosh, they're amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled with Zootopia.
I know. I was like,
oh my God, it's a
Inside
furry
Out.
movie.
We're like, oh, this is not going to be good. And then, oh my gosh, these are amazing.
Yeah, so what do we know?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not just us. I mean, the commercials don't make it too appealing.
No, now this is really interesting. There's they're talking about doing a live action movie that is a Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan mashup called Come Away, and according to Variety, it's based on the premise that Alice and Peter, they were brother and sister who had to deal with their older brother perishing in an accident, and their parents despair of the tragedy. Sounds like a lot of fun. Their parents despair of the tragedy, leading them to ultimately journey to Wonderland and Neverland. So Alice and Peter Pan are brother and sister.
I think that's pushing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but this is supposedly in the works. Does it say it's actually a Disney thing, or this is just
I don't know.
The screenwriter had done work for Disney.
He had worked for Disney.
It says there is no studio attached. So it might not be. This might not be an official Disney thing, but the writer was a.
They found a director. Disney. They haven't actually gotten a go ahead, but they found a director for it. So I guess
I don't know if I'm really a fan of this.
I think it's pushing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're both kind of British. We'll make them brother and sister.
Yeah,
okay,
really.
I mean, it's like
that's also like the theory that Tarzan is also not as.
Oh yeah, everybody's all about that. Yeah. Yes, I've heard that one before. Okay, and then we have this one.
This is the last thing we're going to talk about today. Disney's telepresence robot. Now, they have
what is this?
These robots that they're actually working on that they think they'll use in the park to interact with.
Oh, they can match
guests.
humans' motions one for one.
Yeah, so they're thinking these robots will sort of either take the place of the costume characters, or they'll be like interactive animatronics on the ride, which would be really creepy.
I can see the ride, but the costume characters is kind of freaky.
Yeah, but they have this on TheVerge.com, and they have a video of them, and they have one, like, I guess, holding an egg, and it can do all kinds of crazy stuff. But they're talking about the application in the Disney parks is that they could have, much more advanced characters that are actually robotic. And I keep thinking Westworld, where they go on the fritz and start shooting the guests.
That's what I'm afraid of. I'm like, look how Deli Kitty's with an egg until there's a glitch. And then they start slapping
Five Nights at Mickey's.
5 Nights at Mickey's.
So I don't know if we want that or
You're
not.
okay as long as you get a Mickey costume head to put on. No, you're one of them.
But so it was a really long podcast. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we wrap this one up?
I don't know. My brain's fried. There's a lot of info.
There's been a lot of news lately, and I think it's just with all the construction going on and all the openings, and summer's just like crazy busy.
It is crazy
Disney
busy, yes.
news.
I mean, my head's swimming trying to process all this. I'm like, wow, that's a lot.
Wow. So anyway, hey, just to let you guys know, if you're into the show and you want to help support the show, we have a new support program on Patreon, and you can go to our website at piratesandprincesses.net and click the support button, and if you want to help us continue making these shows, if you're up for that, so you can do that. We would love to have you subscribe to the show. You can do that on iTunes or Stitcher or any other application that
And they're
you
thinking,
use.
why should we help you? Because we get them for free anyway. So what's the answer to that?
Oh, what's the answer for the support program? We're going to try to give you some extra stuff. We're going to do another podcast called Tinfoil Mouse Ears, where we're going to have like Disney conspiracy theories, and we'll throw some
But
extra
those will
videos.
only be available on.
They'll only be available through the Patreon, and we're also going to do some different videos that you'll either get early or will be exclusive.
Right, so
to
you can't
Patreon.
get them on here yet.
Yeah, so we're still working out the details of what all we're going to offer, but basically you get stuff there that you can't get.
Plus, you can just help because you're kind and nice.
And you're nice.
And you want to help us because,
Because you're awesome.
we're awesome and you're awesome and it's all one big awesome. It's an awesome pie.
It's an awesome pie.
Made of awesome.
That should have been the name of the podcast.
The awesome pie.
Awesome pie. So, yeah, check us out at piratesandprincesses.net. Shoot us an email at piratespodcast@gmail.com. That's piratespodcast@gmail.com. And I guess we're going to go.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Pirates and Princesses is a production of Clownfish Studios. We are an unofficial Disney podcast, not endorsed or affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. You can visit us on the web at piratesandprincesses.net. That's piratesandprincesses.net. You can shoot us an email at piratespodcast@gmail.com. That's piratespodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.